Okay, hello everyone. So today we're going to be going over the video that was just released by Arc System Works that's covering three different matches that are meant to show off three new supers that Kai, Soul, and Axel got, and they're all pretty interesting. Except for Soul's, it's mostly interesting for the lore aspects of it. But besides that, Kai now has a dragon in Soul, which is pretty crazy considering that, at least in my understanding of the lore before, is that he wasn't a gear in any sense, but I guess somehow through being with Dizzy and having Sin, maybe he is a gear now. I'm not really sure. If there's any lore monsters in the watching this video, please just let me know exactly what's going on. I know Wooly said that he was going to cover in his next video, so I'll look forward to that. But also Axel gets something very interesting with his super. So I just want to make this video to talk about a lot of changes that have happened in this game because uh the beta that we last had was months ago. I don't even remember when it was, but it feels like it was eons ago. I've been wanting to get my hands on this game for so long now, it feels like. So I've just been itching to get anything that I can on this game. So I've already watched through this video like multiple times now, just trying to see everything I can learn from it, particularly about Axel. I'm an Axel main, so of course that's gonna be my main priority as it was going into this. And so let's just start the video. There's a few things that I noticed I want to point out about the characters. I think some of them we can all learn a little bit more about what exactly this game might be like in the future. Some of them are just small niche things that if you're an Axel main, you'll probably find as interesting as I do. So let's go ahead and get into it. This was by GameSpot, as you can see, and like this map is very beautiful. Kind of reminds me of the setting of JoJo's Part 5, you know, Italy and whatnot. Kind of that vibe I get from it. So, one of the things that I noticed about, don't wait till it shows up to mention it. Get the name of that move. I think it's new. But like any Axel player, he's utilizing backdash jump ass quite a bit. It's a good move in both exit and in this game. It looks like um that good move. Right. So here it is. So basically, Axel, as you saw earlier, is around here. He can. It's an install super, so he pops it like that. Gets all hype for himself, as we all do. And then he has the ability to stop time once he goes into the Jotaro stance from part 3, and it allows him to basically confirm off of his straight hits. It seems like the idea of it, at least. And one of the things that I want to talk about it is that it's not really clear entirely how it works, because you pop the super and then can you just use the install at any point after that for the rest of the round? Because there's no like meter, there doesn't seem to be any sound cues to determine if it's gone or not. So, at least from what we've seen, the player might have been intentionally trying to get it out before the invisible timer is up. So, what I want to know is if it's like a tool that he can just have for the rest of the match. Because if that's the case, then that's going to be definitely a pretty powerful thing that he can, like, as soon as he gets one ball, he just install supers as soon as he, like, gets a poke or it's full screen. And then he always kind of has that thought. It's like, you get hit once, I can make it hurt. And that can be very frightening for a character like Axel to have. And the other question I had about it is, like, what's its utility on defense? Because we only see it for the offense, like there, is that you get a hit, you pop it, and then instantly the opponent is frozen, but the background coloring, as you can see, it goes black and white, but it doesn't instantly go black and white. So what I'm guessing is that it will if you try to use it outside of a combo situation, um it won't go black and white or rather your opponent won't be stopped until it goes black and white. Otherwise, you can be hit out of it. So it probably has a lot of startup, because as you can see, it takes quite a while from after when it hits them for it to go black and white. Okay. So I'm guessing that's how it's gonna work and that's how it's gonna be balanced. Because if you could just be taking pressure, like from Eddie, for example, you're in the corner, he's got little Eddie on you, and you just decide, okay, there's like a 1 frame gap here. I can just stop time and punish them. It would be really powerful. I doubt that they would have something like that. They would probably balance that out really quickly, but it's just something that's not clear. And maybe there's some application at a weaker level, or like maybe just like in neutral, if you try to press anything, even though it's got long startup, it's long enough to catch like a whiff normal or something, and then allow them to punish after that. So that's always a possibility. And I just wish we could have a little bit more clarification. Obviously, we will in 2 months, but it's just something to think about. Like, there's definitely some more to this game than people were originally thinking, but that's also because the game's probably changed quite a bit since we last played it. Definitely seems like just the general motions and attacks and stuff definitely feel a little bit different, but can't really say anything particular. Get this out of my face. I need YouTube, Ed. Anyway. But another thing that's pretty interesting, that a lot of Eddie's moves, well, Zato's moves for Little Eddie, actually use up quite a bit of meter. Let's see if we can see that. That one didn't use too much. It was like probably 25%. It also recovers a lot quicker than it does in like exit. So it seems like he doesn't get punished as hard if Little Eddie gets hit a little bit too much. So that's definitely a quality of life thing that Zato players are gonna appreciate quite a bit. Normal axle things here. Got bomber loops back in a very, very different form. Curious how much the super will change scaling. Seemed like it didn't change at first, but maybe that was just normal scaling game. Like the first few hits do very little scaling, then like later hits hit more. Not really sure. It's definitely something we're gonna have to just wait until we have training mode. And they did say in the beta for all 4 days that, or 5? Is it 5 if you pre-order? I think, yeah, it's 5 if you pre-order. It's pretty crazy that people are gonna be able to have all that time just to be in training mode. The game's definitely gonna be figured out quite a bit. Maybe, like a general meta would be understand before the game even comes out, which is gonna be very interesting. Definitely looking forward to that. There wasn't anything too particularly interesting in this match with Kai and Yuki, besides the Dragon Insult Super. I'll get to that. There is one other thing. Gonna see if it. I don't know if it happens in this one. I think it already did happen. But, yeah, I think it's around here. So one thing that they added that I thought was super strange. I'm gonna try to pause it. It happens. No, it doesn't have there. I think. So one thing that I noticed that I'm gonna see if it'll pop up in here is that, yeah, I think it just happened there. Is that there's a sound cue that happens when you build a bar, like a full bar, from movement, not from combos or getting hit or anything else, but specifically movement. It seems like there's a different sound for when you gain 1 bar versus 2 bars. It's like kind of a gong sound when you get the 1 bar, and then I can't remember what the second sound like, but it sounded very different. And I noticed in the Axel one, it was at the last round, and it also happens in this game. It happens once in the Zato game afterwards too. So I'm not really sure why they would add something like that. It is a interesting idea. It feels weird to have it for just movement and not the other things. I think if you had it all around, it would be kind of interesting. Um, It'd be a little awkward though, because you might need different sounds uh for different plays, because people might hear it, think, and without looking at the meter, think, oh, I have a meter now. Let me try to do something really unsafe, and then see to get pressure. and if they're wrong and they're just trying to make a split-second decision like that, the sound could actually work against them. But that's yet to be seen. Obviously, that's something way in the future that we gotta worry about. But again, just something to think about. But Yuki was showing some very interesting combos in here. Still not entirely certain how the blood meter works. I know they explained it. It's basically, it's not actually really a good thing when he has it fully stocked up. This was kind of sad to see. It looked like a pretty clear burst speed, but it's still lost to the burst. Looked a little bit more active than it would be in other games, but I could be completely wrong. Um, Dynamic camera angles are very cool. Very strange. They showed this off in I believe it was trailer. I think it was the trailer that was showing all the moves. Like Kai's projectiles and such. This was a cool ass combo. Uh, Definitely more than what I was expecting from this character. Thought he was just gonna be, oh, I got all these far range moves, I can't move for crap, but you know, I can just poke you out. But he's definitely a little bit more than that, and that's great to see. And but Kai's like specials now all have like this little reddish and yellow tint to them. I'm a little colorblind, so I'm not entirely sure which colors they are, but that's what it looks like. And you know, it's kind of weird because Kai's visual motif has been, you know, the white and blue, the kind of a pure look to him. So, and he has a dragon, so it's a very pretty animation. Um, it was kind of hard to tell how much of things change. So, is that projectile faster? Air projectile. It did do it, right? No, it looks about it definitely changes the fact it puts like that blue aura around them. But I don't think they work any differently from what I see. It looked like it only really changed the super, but not really sure. Yeah, at the end of this super, which Ride the Lightning, they does that little twirl at the end. And I don't think it does that otherwise, but it's really not clear what it all does, and that kind of sucks. I wish we knew a little bit more. The fact that it keeps it for the rest of the round, maybe even the rest of the game, probably not. It's yet to be seen. Be very interested to know more. One of the very crazy things that I saw in this match is that I think it's coming up soon, but the Soul lands a counter. Yep, right there. Counter hit, Bandit Bringer, BB, and fucking Zato just drops on the ground. That's it. Like no combos. It looks like he tried to go for a combo though, so maybe it's because it hit low low Zato and Zato at the same time. Maybe it screwed it up because it's very strange that Bandit Bringer does not combo, especially on counter hit. Like I gotta say, if they get rid of it for regular hit and to, you know, kind of lowered Soul's damage output because damage is pretty high in this game. If you can get combos off of all of his special moves like that, would be very, very scary. So definitely a big question mark for me. Would have to see more. I hope it's not like that. But like I was talking about in the first match, a lot of Zato's moves, like look how much fog took out. Like 2 fogs and that was all of Eddie's meter. Like 1 fog, half. Other fog, gone. Like it's very interesting, but it also covers very fast. Like it's already back. Like within just a few seconds, we can count it. Uh, yes, it was about what 51, 52. I think it comes back at 47, 40, about 48. Yeah, 53 to 48. So only about 5 seconds for the cover. I believe that's noticeably faster than exit. I don't remember the exact amount of time in exit, so I could be wrong, but it definitely seems faster. It seems like he has a lot more options with Eddie than he does in exit. So But it seems like he doesn't really have anything like Nobuo that like covers a very good like vertical range right in front of him. So it'll be interesting to see how he's able to handle like people approaching from him like directly over him from the air, like him fighting against like Amelia or Chip. Joe covering a lot more space now is also pretty scary to think about. That counter thought combo is really cool to look at, I'm not gonna lie. Zato just looks amazing. I think we can all agree with that. It looked like in the first game he also had a fast fall. I could be wrong about that. But it's hard to tell because Zato's always use like fly and whatnot. It looks like he can change up his air mobility so much in this game. So I'm not entirely sure if he does have a fast fall. I don't think it's going to change him dramatically for having it, but will be an interesting thing for them to have in his toolkit. That was another thing that a lot of people, well, I saw at least one Japanese person post about. So he blocks Soul's DP in the air, it's just block. And just block actually works more or less like it does in the old one. It seems like an exit in that it does allow you to punish things that you normally won't be able to punish because it keeps you close. And it was showed off in the Kai match actually. I forgot to point out. But he blocks the Soul DP here in the air, which I have mixed feelings about like everything being he did all this thing, yeah. I think in this game, at least in the beta, it might have changed now. Is that everything is air unblockable, but it pushes you further away from your opponent and drags them down. I wasn't really a fan of this idea, but I mean, I guess it could be executed correctly. One of the things that some people seem to want is that if you do block an DP in the air, that you're actually able to punish it. I think that idea is really bad. I think if you try to anti-air somebody with a DP and they block it in the air, you should at least be able to recover and just lose your turn. Like the idea of being able to punish somebody for DPing you because you jumped just seems really weird to me. Maybe I play too much Street Fighter, I don't know. Oh wait, another thing, I think it was before this part, or maybe it was later. But it looked like those DP barely had any like range to it. Like Zato actually like hit him with what I'm assuming is his jump jab, his jump punch. And actually beats Soul's DP once it reached like the apex of its height. And that just looked really strange to see. I don't know. It might have been the last round. Yeah, something else that I saw that was a little strange. That it has this jump move, like launches him forward. I'm not sure if it's because he air dash or if that's just how the jump move. I don't know if it's a normal or if it's um man is that pretty to look at. But not sure if it's like part of the move or if he air dashed and then did it. I don't think he air dashed and did. But it moved him forward, but he actually blocked it low. Like he didn't have to block high for that, and that I'm not even. It seems kind of weird to me. It's not a big deal, but I feel like that should probably be an overhead. It looks like it has quite a bit of startup. I'm not sure why you wouldn't have that as an overhead. Not a huge deal, yeah. Fog. That's one of the cool moves that they added. Like all these look great, but this seems like it has one of the best utilities. And that's this like multi-drill spamming move. It seems like it will drain all of your meter and just continuously send out drills until it's completely empty. Which pretty cool. It gives quite a bit of corner K. Seems like it allows him to have quite a bit of pressure afterwards as well. Goes for a dust. Can make his dust safe. I noticed it was in one of the earlier videos that they showed. I think it was in the exhibition with a bunch of top players. Is that what's it called? That dust didn't seem so plus on block as they do in the early games. But that's it for the video that they showcased. It was quite a treat for them to show us bunch of new stuff like this. I hope they do at least one other video before the beta. I would like to just see more, sink my teeth into some more gameplay of this game, because man is it pretty. Man, do I want to get my hands on it so bad. Hopefully we'll get something more. Another thing that I also noticed is that Kai used to, whenever he hits you with the lightning move, it'll show you a little debuff pop up, kind of like how it was in Persona Arena. But it seems like it doesn't do that anymore. So now your body is just like has an electrocution effect on it, like you can see on Yuki. Like you can see he's a little electrified. So the debuff is still there. It's not in your face as it was before. It's just like, here you go. Maybe it's because he's the only one with a debuff in the game. Maybe not. From all the other characters, it doesn't seem like anyone else has any kind of debuff effect like this. I'm not even entirely sure what his debuff does. Maybe somebody did figure out in beta. I do not recall. If you do know in the comments, please just leave it down there, and I'll read it and make sure to mention it in the next video, hopefully. That was another weird thing I thought, that I gets like no pressure at the start. Just recover instantly, and you recover back and it's back to neutral. I thought that kind of sucked. But Kai's normals and projectile game just seems so strong in this game that doesn't really seem like that's a huge problem. Kai looks like he's going to be very strong in this game. Obviously, it's too early to really tell. We don't know who's going to be dirty, who's not going to be, but I definitely have my eyes on Kai. I think he's going to be very good. But definitely my focus is on Axel and Giovanna. And probably a little bit of Ramapho too, because he seems like she has a very new and interesting kid, and I do want to try. So, you guys let me know if I missed anything, if there's anything you would like to see them show us before we get our hands on the beta, and let me know who you guys want OC, and who you want to play the most in the beta, because there are almost all the characters we can play in the beta, except for Anji and the character they haven't announced yet, of course. Actually, that would be pretty cool if they did allow us to play the character they haven't revealed yet, but they're definitely still working on them, so that's not going to happen. Like the last exhibition they did, they even have all the voice acting done for the characters, because there's that early build for some of them. And but yeah, let me know what you guys think. If there's anything I missed, let me know. I like to have that information. I've been going in all the Discord, seeing what other people are saying too, just to make sure that I don't miss anything. Actually, I did miss something. Just remembered, Renson, one of Axel's like most like core moves. I think he does at the very beginning of this. One of the things that I noticed is that Axel's Renson had a significant more startup, and that's a little scary for me, because Renson's one of Axel's like most premier tools. Maybe it was at the very yeah. There you go. So Renson like that's a lot more startup, it looks like. Might just be me. Somebody else said it in the Axel Discord. Like, looks way more, but it also goes full screen, so I guess it's kind of like the trade-off idea. It did seem like in the first beta that Axel was like #1 with a bullet. Like, just the simplification of all the changes that they made to the game makes a character that has a lot of full screen presence a lot more scarier when changes like that are made, especially when mobility is a little bit weaker. Like instant air dashes aren't as instant as they used to be. So Axel does seem pretty scary. I can understand if they want to tweak some of his video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, to make a little bit more like with other characters. And anything that I missed, make sure to put it in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next video.